Now, I'm not sure why that did that. I was in the middle of making a video and it went dark. This is October 21st, 2025. I'm going to try to catch you up. Hopefully, whatever this is doesn't happen again. You've got nostalgia or the history, the past in the central energy. In the challenge position, you've got the Six of Swords here, leaving that baggage behind. In the subconscious, we've got reevaluation and disconnection from whatever that was going on in the past. In the recent past, we have Ten of Cups, some kind of alignment in the love department. And hopes and fears, we've got the Hierophant. So there's a higher authority looking at society and the threats that have been there for society, like disconnecting everything. And in the near future, we've got Tower. So things are falling apart. So there may be some kind of chaos in the near future as things get released. We have Page of Swords, the lens is being looked through. Somebody may be trying to figure out a new way of communicating or finding out whatever this knowledge, whatever this truth is. They might be feeling a little restless in the mental body. In the environment, Justice. Justice is being served, the law of cause and effect. Everybody is reaping their harvest. And, you know, we had some folks out there that were being real nasty, and they were trying to project that out and lay it on the suns and the stars, because they thought that that's what we were here for, was to gobble up their nastiness and then to take the blame for it. Well, it doesn't seem that it's happening that way this time. Hopes and fears. Knight of Pentacles. Routine, hard work, dedication, responsibility. And the outcome? Whoa. We've got Judgment. So Judgment is being called. So we've got Justice in the environment, and we've got Judgment is the outgoing energy. The law of cause and effect is the Judgment. Entering into a new phase. We've got the Three of Wands here. Some kind of an enterprise. This is worldwide. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. So a mother figure providing financially, a life of luxury. And we've got, we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So those working diligently with high standards, right? To earn what? A financial opportunity, to develop their skills and to get their light on. So that's what this is, I think. It's like whoever's been working with high standards and passion, developing skills on how to turn the light on in the flesh suit, the flesh temple, to combat this evil that these darker shadow dweller beings were trying to stick to your light body. They couldn't do it. There's a lot of priorities, a lot of things going on here for the Empress. So she's able to stay balanced, even though there's lots and lots of moving parts here. And that is bringing a nightmare to somebody, because the truth is revealed. Because the Empress can remain balanced and is with all of these multiple priorities, she's here telling the truth about what's been going on. And somebody's in a freaking nightmare because she's getting a renewal or laying something to rest and coming into this new beginning, a new passionate beginning. Her faith has been tested, and she's determined to live this life no matter how bad people make it, you know, how uncomfortable they make it. And she's coming into a new love. An ambitious new love. which is bringing a cause for celebration within the community. And this is the end of that cycle. It could be that everybody who is bringing war to you is going to be receiving death. Whoever tried to unalive you with this conflict is going to be receiving their intentions for you. While you're getting this Ace of Pentacles, you're going to have enough abundance that you are able to share it with people in the community. You've got your freedom star. You've got your freedom. And you're rejuvenated. You are the revitalizer. This fight has been to retain the presence of you. But they treated you so poorly. God said, no more. You're not going to abuse this person or these people anymore. And somebody's afraid because there's been a lot of research going on, like soul searching in regards 9 of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. So, you know, love and the fruits of the labor, right? Soul searching. Who deserves this life of luxury? Are they loved? We've got a very strong, because of your courage and your strength, somebody is restricted here because you persevered. You maintained control. And you're going home. There's a homecoming. It's like you're being vindicated for whatever they lied about and tried to pin to you. This passion project is in regret. You know, F-boys, F-girls, they're in regret because the Queen of Swords is here with unbiased, independent, personal, first-hand testimony, irrefutable evidence, very clear-minded, and very clear boundaries, bringing a close to this cycle of conflict. That's it. Balance is being restored, and this is publicly recognized. Temperance angel. Those people who are bringing illusions and causing confusion and harm to society will be traveling soon. They gotta, you know, get out of town because the Emperor is here providing new opportunities for true love, values aligned, dedicated commitment of these people here. And that's the close of the cycle. The wheel turns on proposals. So, and that's bringing a painful end because some folks are getting divorced out of your energy star, out of the stars, rejuvenating, revitalizing, creative energies. They lost that and they can no longer command you because you're here, obviously, in another connection. Six of Cups, memories. Oh, and we've got no. Luck, it's not the right time. So it's not the right time for history, for the memories, or that we're not repeating the past, or whoever was part of this malarkey in history is not coming forward with you. You're moving on. You're letting it go. All that malarkey from the past, that big old backpack full of rocks, you're taking it off and you're putting it down. Maybe you're going to empty it out so people can go kick rocks. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. But you're releasing the baggage of the past. And you're going to be traveling soon. Look, you're traveling. You're out of here. Transition. You're making a transition. And now, I don't know about you, but You know, we got this curator and his posse of masculines who are misogynistic and narcissistic out here. You know, they well, they don't like you and they don't want you to go. I forgot I was going to say. I had something all lined up and then I lost it. Sorry there. Anyway, you're disconnecting from the past. You're not dealing with it anymore. You're not pulling it forward with you. You're in that boat. You're moving on. You're traveling soon. Completely disconnecting from this situation. Disconnecting from third-party enemies. You're not dealing with them in this new cycle. The answer is no. The past is not coming forward with you. They're not leaving with you. In the challenge position, you've got the Six of Swords and vacation. You will be traveling soon. So there's like a transference, and this curator has been saying that he can use, oh, now I know what I was going to say, these medicines as a connector or a bridge to your new timeline. You know, I've been talking about this, praying about it, that this, whatever substance is in the medicine, that it be nullified and not able to be used as a bridge. I've heard that there has been a cease and desist regarding these medicines and using them as a connector or a bridge to other people's timelines and their mental body, their flesh temple, because if the medicine is in the body, then for some reason they feel like they own the energy in that body. That's why they want everybody on freaking medicine. That's why they want everybody on a freaking pill, because that gives them access by some stupid law or something out there to your vessel, to your house, your body, and your timeline, wherever it is you are. So that needs to be shifted or changed. But what I was going to say is, I personally, today, on my way this afternoon, I have made the decision to start shifting away from, I have one medicine that I take, but I'm going to start shifting out of that because, you know, I'm tired of listening to these people talk about it, and I'm just going to remove the medicine from my life. Mother Nature has all I need, and I will make it work. That's my vow to myself. So in the recent past, you've got 10 of Cups. This is divine love and alignment. And the Hierophant is here. Now that could be God, if you choose to see it that way. Please take it as it resonates. Narcissist. But it kind of came out like this, or it kind of came out like that, which to me says it's in the reverse. So in the recent past, we've got divine love, total love and support, and there's no narcissist. So God isn't going to let a narcissist take part in these unions in this cycle because they're third-party enemies. And so they're getting disconnected out of your energy because you don't want to play games with love, and you don't want these narcissistic third-party, you know, men who prefer other men, but they need to get with the feminine so that they can drain those gifts, right? God is here saying no more. You're not going to do that anymore. Sorry about that. You guys are going to have to go, you know, create something together, as you know, without dragging the woman into it, since you hate her so bad. Fire sign. So either the Hierophant is a fire sign, or he is protecting a fire sign. He could be working with the fire sign. Maybe this Hierophant is in this 10 of Cups. He's not a narcissist. But we've got a Tower here. He could be working with a fire sign, or he is a fire sign. In the near future, we've got Tower. God, Goddess, Mother, Father. Oh, there's a Tower to the third party enemies. You're disconnecting from them, so everything's falling apart from them. We've got Page of Swords, new ways of communicating, restless mental energy. Let go. Somebody's feeling restless. They've been let go. They're trying to figure out how to communicate. They might have been shifted out. Last night I heard a younger voice, masculine voice, which sounded kind of distant, telling these closer misogynistic, narcissistic masculines who are always giving me a head full of, you know, conversation in the midnight hour. Anyway, they were there and they said, we need help. So there was at least 2 of these pages. It sounded to me like they had fallen into a trap or something. They had gotten let go, and that's justice. And they're trying to call out to these misogynist, narcissistic people to, you know, help them. We've got justice in the environment. The law of cause and effect. It's like whatever you did to others shall be done to you. And that's just the way that it is. And we've got they'll be back. So it could be that to make it fair, let go. Like they have to go back. Like they're going to be back. They got to go back. The law of cause and effect. They got to go back to history. They'll be back. But this also says expect to hear from them soon. It could be that the justice system is going to make an announcement. We've got Knight of Pentacles, hard work, routinely, responsibly, patience, just a few more months. So you're working real hard, trying to deliver justice. You got Judgment here as well. So, you know, I mean, I really am grateful here that these people that are doing the work here for the living, for the light, for justice, they're not taking shortcuts. They're not selling anybody out for a few shekels. They're actually doing the work, and I don't think they're complaining too much, you know. They just want to get it right. Although I know patience is running thin for everybody. We all want to jump into we want to have love, man, but it's going to take some healing probably for a little while. Well, I guess it pulled out, so I'm just going to keep it. Gambling. So there's Judgment here and gambling. So these ones took a gamble with the suns and the stars, those revitalizers, those rejuvenators. They took a gamble and they treated them like crap, and they transferred the sin of the world onto them and their families. And that is why the church teaches everybody that they're born into sin, because the bloodlines that the suns and the stars are placed in have to carry the sin and the karmic debt of these entities that have been playing with people and their lives. Like these guys flip, copycat, and replace people all the time, right? And then now they're having a tower and getting disconnected because there's no more doing that. That's not going to happen anymore. We've got Earth sign manifesting something here, and we've got using their intuition. Luck is on your side. Regarding a confession you're receiving, like somebody's lying to you about a confession, and they're hoping, it could be a water sign, hoping that they could move in with you. You're protected from love spells, and there's one cycle ending and one cycle beginning. You might be getting a new pet and a honeymoon. Like there might be a new pet And honeymoon, like a new start, right? A new start, a new life. Somebody might see you as a pet, their mate, their favorite, whatever. Use caution as this gold digger is being divorced out of the energy, or maybe they need to use caution. They're trying to communicate and get some sort of a commitment here. They could be at a distance, and we've got air signs, so they could be trying to target an air sign. They're having challenges getting back to where it was that they had. They could be in another timeline. They're having challenges getting back. They can't get a relationship or a contract. But God has already said that this is the end of their relationship with batteries, which are suns and stars. And I just don't think that they're going to be permitted to have that relationship. Somebody is spying on you, and they're trying to get a date night and have you open your heart, right? But you're giving it time for intimate union because you know that there's a lot of things in the health system right now that could cause you issues for health. So it's like someone is unavailable. It's a waste of time. It's over. Move on. So it could be that you're already thinking about a family, and anybody who comes in to try to tap into you or be part of your energetic expression is going to be told to move on, because you're already birthing something with somebody new. You're here in your boat together, and you're here right here. So you're already birthing something with somebody new. So it's like anybody coming into your energy is sort of trespassing on that commitment that you've already got going on here. The Hierophant is here with the fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So you're looking at the history, and we've got no, it's not the right time. You're not bringing the history forward because of these habitual patterns that they won't change. They've had centuries to change that, and they only got more vicious and more cruel. And God said you're not going to be giving anything back to them. He's taking it all away from them, giving it back to you, and he's not going to let you give it back to them. You Six of Swords here, you're moving. I mean, if you choose to, he's probably just going to take the gifts away from you and let you go be there with them. I don't know, but there's changes. You're leaving behind those of the history that had habitual patterns that were hurtful. They give you a freaking flower and then leave you in the dark. So you're going to be traveling soon. You never gave up hope for this union. You fought back, and you got disconnected. You're disconnecting from this third-party enemy, this system of third-party enemies. It's overflowing with them. So you're disconnecting from the third-party enemies who've been in the practice of sabotaging people and their soul contracts. Disconnected from this third-party enemy who was sabotaging soul contracts. So childish, so irresponsible, so cruel, and so unworthy. Ten of Cups, total love and support, divine love. And we've got Narcissist in the reverse. We're not dealing with the narcissist. You're not hooked up with the narcissist. We're not letting any narcissist into the territory. Yeah, there's no narcissist here because they're guilty of causing pain and damage in the territory for unions. So, yeah, the narcissist has been found guilty, and they're going to go feel the pain from that damage they've caused. The Hierophant is here with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or they are a fire sign. Take it as it resonates. We've got mistakes in the reverse. So there's no mistakes. No mistakes. Plenty of research and plenty of verification and re-verification of that research. We got a Tower here for third-party enemies. Everything's in chaos. They're being released because their values were all about money. They didn't care about family. They just wanted to F people over and take the wealth. And that's what they trained their youth for. They trained the youngers to go out and do magic on unsuspecting people so that they could get a relationship and then tap into that energy and that spiritual account and then drain them. They're going away. Hopefully, anybody that they're attempting to lure in, because I've heard them here being coached on how to draw the feminine in. And once they get an intimate encounter with her, she's going to have to determine whether she wants to, you know, knock them over the head, separate, or actually stay with them. But the problem is that once there's an intimate connection, they've already downloaded their software and their karmic debt and probably pulled out stuff too. It's really sad because I hear them. We woke up closer together. So it's like they went to bed together and they were on each side of the bed, but when they woke up, they were closer together. So he's going to tell his peers the progress that he's making trying to lure this woman into a sexual encounter. He's going real slow. He's pretending to be really respectful, but he's in the background telling these guys about the progress and how well he's doing. Could be let go. It could be this person right here that's been let go because they do that. And they could be in disagreement. You need to understand how I feel. Well, nobody wants you. I certainly, as a mother figure, would not want this young man near my daughter. He's got screwy thinking. The law of cause and effect is in order, and we've got they'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. Reflection in the reverse. Soul tie. So you're not a reflection. You're not a copycat. You have this soul tie and you're always connected. You're not a reflection. There's no mirror magic. There's no dim light there. We've got hard work and responsibility, patience, just a few more months. We've got unworthy. Unworthy. So a Knight of Pentacles is being patient, or you need to be patient. Somebody's been found unworthy. We've got Judgment. They gambled with you and they lost. They gambled with you and they lost. And everything they did to you is going to be done to them. That's what he said. Every nasty thing they did to you will be done to them. And they're running. They ran away from an irreplaceable love and they neglected it. They're feeling broken and shattered. They're chasing after you, they want to mend this connection that they were unsatisfied with. They were unsatisfied with it, and now they want to mend the connection. But they got secrets here. See, and this new chapter is for responsible family units, okay? And those who sabotaged you are really feeling the absence of your love. Maybe they're absent of self-love and they're just full of this sabotage. Overwhelmed, unsatisfied, unexpected outcome. They did not appreciate the beauty of you. They want your forgiveness, but it's too late for these F-boys and F-girls to do anything about it. You're out of here. They're third parties. These third parties are in regret. You've got disconnected from someone else, the third party. You've got tower for the third party whose values were all about money. And you've got regret for the third party. Because they effed around, they held back and they effed around and they hurt the one that they lured into a connection. So we've got holding back the shadow side, holding it back. They're not allowed to move forward. We've got unfinished business with the dreamers that were trying to take your identity. They don't know what to do because they were not able to separate you from love. And the truth has been revealed regarding these prideful, egotistical thieves and whores calling themselves privileged. Somebody wants to talk to you here. They want to have a conversation, but they lied. And so they're not allowed into your space. They could be in solitary confinement, or perhaps you are. And people are gossiping about this reunion here. You coming back together. There's an understanding of what these ones did. And there's an understanding, so you've escaped here, or maybe they were trying to escape by hijacking your destiny. This says, I'm struggling to find the right path. So they did this to a lot of suns and stars, trying to find the right destiny that would give them an escape. They didn't care what happened to you. They just wanted your ticket out of here into the next realm. So they made you suffer real bad so that they could then unalive you at harvest time and take your reward and stick you back in another cycle of suffering. They're confused because they're feeling the damages that they've caused. They're getting detached and they've missed their opportunity. They're not taking your destiny. They're in a tower because their values were all about money. They're being disconnected from this soul contract. Like they're disconnected. There's no more soul contract. You're not obligated to assist them, help them, talk to them, listen to them. You don't even have to listen to them. Sometimes it's fun to get in the bathtub and just let your inner crazy out, right? Sing songs, cackle like a jackal or whatever, I don't know. Release, release, release. The incredible, intensity of this battle, I mean, I don't know about you, but the intensity with these third-party enemies was so great at times. It made me feel as though I was losing my mind, and a lot of people, they don't really know about spiritual warfare, so they have to say whatever they have to say in order to assist stabilizing that mind and that energy. So, anyway, it is what it is. You know what it is. Some people aren't allowed to talk about it. So the history will not be coming forward with you because of those habitual patterns that they won't change. We've got loneliness in the reverse. You're not alone. They've got habits of leaving people alone, and you're not going to be alone this cycle. You're leaving here. There's 2 people in that boat. You're traveling soon. You haven't given up on us yet. A loyal, loving, trustworthy union. It's that inner voice. So you're connected divinely, telepathically, energetically, being guided correctly. We've got the 4 of Cups here. So disconnection of third-party enemies from a soul contract. They're in fear because they're disconnected from a soul contract with you. Like if they had one, they don't have it anymore. You've got this 10 of Cups, total love and support. There's not going to be any narcissists there. And they're going to feel the pain from the damage that they have caused in this territory. And to love, and to all of those loving people who loved them greatly, and then they turned around and got pleasure out of hurting them. You've got your freedom here. You've got your freedom of this narcissist. They've been found guilty, and you have your freedom. The Hierophant is here with a fire sign or as a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and there's no mistakes being made. So there's clairvoyance, source connection, there is intuitiveness, there is psychic ability, there is trauma bonds. I mean, you could be in the viper's den because they bound with you and now you didn't die. They couldn't command your energy or your life force. So here you are alive doing your thing. You passed. Like I found out the other day, you know, these guys have been talking about percentages, 97%, 100%, whatever. Well, I found out 100% is 100% mission completed. All the lessons have been gone through and passed. And whoever you are, you have graduated at the top of your class. You're 100%. You have been emancipated. You have been resurrected and led back into an ascension by this Hierophant. And there's nothing that these ones can do about it. Except make a lot of threats. They might actually be able to do a 3D thing, but I don't know, because they're in a tower right now. They got a lot of stuff to focus on, and I don't know that they would have the energy or the time to really focus on you, honestly. We've got the tower here. There's chaos, sudden release for these third-party enemies who wanted money. They just wanted your money, man. That's all they ever wanted was money. Purpose. Their purpose was just to get money and just to be free for all F-boys and F-girls. They're mostly masculine, though. These entities right here are masculines. And in my perception or opinion, the feminines that are working with them are either resurrected Jezebels and succubuses and gifted a flesh suit so that they could be in this realm and try to, you know, work their magic and screw us all over. Oh, which they're under judgment for. Anyhow, purpose, you know what you're here to do. Page of Swords is having some restless energy, restless mental energy, because they've been let go to make room for the new beginning, that it's on its way. They're having disagreements. They think you should understand how they feel. But you're attracted to those people who serve the higher good, and they just don't. And this page, they are in disagreement about relationships and people that serve the higher good. They don't see, they were led down a path of incoherence. So they were led and trained to be abusive in this world and to steal from other people the profits of their labor, and for some reason they were trained and taught that they were entitled to do that. This narcissist led everybody down the wrong path. You know? Because they figured if they could take you all out, then they could continue this for another 6,000 years or for however many thousands of years it's been. But it didn't happen. Justice is being served, the law of cause and effect, and they'll be back. We've got reflection in the reverse. So there's no more reflections getting themselves involved in soul ties. They're going back. They're being let go. They're being let go. No more soul ties with reflections. Yeah. So their pride is hurt. these reflections, these copycats, their pride is hurt. They're not getting, they got to go back. We got soul tie is only for those who are not copycats. So those people who are not prideful. We've got envious here. It could be that those who are envious are having their pride hurt because they're losing their soul tie. They've been working real hard on a routine and being patient. Or maybe you need to be patient regarding this hard work on this responsible hard work. Maybe you are just a few more months. Good things come to those who wait. We've got the unworthy saying, you're a better person than I am. And it looks like the unworthy are receiving some form of discipline right now. Tower. They're afraid. We've got judgment here. They took a gamble with you and your energy. They're addicted to your energy and all the good things that you poured forth onto them. They are getting reciprocity. Every nasty thing that they did to you and others in the world are going back to them. And we've got indecision in the reverse. So this is an absolute fact. They will receive every bit of ickiness that they gave to you. There's a change here because of your courage. You're successful because of your friends and the love that is in you. You have grown in consciousness and awareness and through this patience. And it's divine order. These people are in denial. They're in grief. Or maybe they're in grief because they're receiving a denial. They're worried here because peace is being restored in the mental body and all of the negative energies are being released. So all of those people who wanted to create war in the minds, in the consciousness of humanity are being released. We're going to restore peace in the mental body of the people. No more self-loathing, no more anger issues, no more, sadness or extreme loneliness, no more of this. Carrying the karmic life and the karmic debt and the sin load transfer that these ones kept doing. They were doing magic on everybody in the United States, according to Spirit. Everybody in the United States, they kept doing mental magic on, and they were transferring all this sin onto them, expecting them to get sent back in time and receive a punishment. Those who are bringing you adversity are in regret now because they have failed. They have failed, and now they're in doubt. They have failed to steal your services. They have failed to destroy your happiness. They're in doubt here. So you honor the physical vessel that enshrines your soul, and you accept the things you cannot change. It's just acceptance and health. It could be that you have been accepted. Your health is being restored. We've got death. These ones were trying to bring death to love. And now they need to surrender their need to control it. And they want forgiveness. But you, grateful and thankful, empath, are restoring balance in this world. You're the temperance angel, and that's why you're here. And these ones blamed you for every foul thing, every sinful thing that they ever did. They covered you in it energetically, and you may not even know who these people are running around out there in the world like they're freaking royal when they're nothing but a jackwagon transferring this nastiness into the world that you persevered through because of your good nature. And now these ones are you're calling judgment here. You're calling judgment here with the gifts of your soul. You're calling judgment on the guilty ones because you know the truth. You are a limitless, abundant being. You were here to manifest whatever you desired in the physical reality, and what you desire is love and safe, loving families that are healthy, happy, and whole. You deserve peace and abundance and, health for the world. But not these ones. They get off on the suffering of the world, because they can extract the happiness out and then dress up in it and pretend that they are. I don't think I want to use these ones. I'm not going to use these ones. I'll use these little ones. I heard one of them say, there's too many cards there, so cross-watcher or enemy mine. I like to build on this story, and I like to use a lot of cards, and it just doesn't matter what you think is right or wrong, because you're getting let go. You're getting let go for making people widowers with your pride, hurting happy sweethearts. So we got the history here, and we've got no. You're not going to repeat the past, because they have habitual patterns that they will never change. They're not going to leave you alone again. You aren't alone. You are not alone. There's service. You've got people here, or family here, or the Hierophant and the Hierophant's team here. You're not alone in this service. So it could be that you're doing something as a service to hold back the past. Six of Swords, leaving that baggage behind. You're traveling soon. You never gave up hope on your kingdom spouse. You trust that inner voice guiding you correctly. It could be that you are telepathically connected. And we've got prison. I think what's so you got trust here in that inner voice. You're going to travel soon to the love that you'd always hoped for. And these ones here, they're that are being held back in the past, they're in a mental prison over this. They're getting disconnected here with the Four of Cups. They're the third-party enemy. You're disconnecting from third-party enemies and a soul contract. So all the soul contracts of these third-party enemies are ending over, because it was a game to them. So anybody who had a soul contract that is a third-party enemy is losing that soul contract. They're afraid. They're afraid. Fortune. They're afraid. What did they do? They're afraid because they've got a fortune. Of historical crap that's coming back to them. You do have blissful love here. The narcissist is found guilty, and you have your freedom here. So you've gained your freedom, and there's a celebration here, joy. The narcissist has been found guilty. The Hierophant is here as a fire sign or with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and they're not making any mistakes. I didn't pull one of those cards for that. Well, they're not making any mistakes with this wedding. So they're not making mistakes with the wedding. And it could be that that's God protecting a wedding, a specific wedding. Well, whoever this Hierophant is, he's got his person. He's with his person, and he's not making any mistakes. What else has he got? I forgot to pull one of these cards, Spirit. What else we got there for that? Please. Worry. Somebody's worried. Somebody's worried. You're not making any mistakes with that. Somebody's worried about your purpose here. They're in a tower. These third-party enemies are in a tower. Their values were all about money. They're concerned over your purpose. Or maybe they know that's what their purpose was, to come and disrupt family and steal all the money. Scholar. That's what they were taught. It's what they were taught. We've got a page here being let go. They're in disagreement with relationships that serve the higher good. They didn't want them. They just wanted the house. They could be in disagreement with the house of relationships that serve the higher good. They're being let go. We've got justice, the law of cause and effect. They'll be back. Expect to hear from them soon. Soul tie is here and reflection in the reverse. So there's no reflections regarding this soul tie, or you aren't a soul tie. And you're not prideful either. That's in the reverse also. So there won't be any soul ties for copycats. There won't be any soul ties for prideful, envious people. That's just not gonna happen. They're going to go back, so they're going to go back in time. They're being released. They need consolation. They could be praying right now. Justice is being served. They got to go back and receive their discipline for being unworthy of this soul contract. Journey. Yeah, they're taking a journey. They're going on a journey. They've been found unworthy and they're leaving soon. They're going on a journey. We got judgment here. They're under judgment for gambling with your life star and sun, and everything that they did to you is absolutely, without a doubt, going to go back on them, and they're in their thoughts. Indecision in the reverse. They know that this is not going to change. There's nothing going to change here. This foe, this enemy, is a widower, or they're thinking about widowing people, or they are soon going to be one. Look, they had hoped for misfortune on you, and they still do. I think there's a messenger getting a surprise. They're hoping that you're going to suffer some misfortune. There's a whole posse of these masculines being rounded up, and they want to approach divine feminine randomly. It has to be random, right? So there's a whole group of these masculines that are kind of going to stagger themselves in your energy, in your environment, and try to gain connection. This soldier wants to steal everything that you have. They're in melancholy over this gift. You are the gift. You could be receiving a letter in the room. The room is your mind. You might be getting some information regarding love, or regarding a servant of love. Maybe you are a servant of love, a faithful, loyal servant of love, or maybe somebody wants to serve you with love. There is a young woman who went to the doctor, and now they're in sorrow. They probably got something, bad news. They are seen as a enemy, a false person, and we've got money here. So their wealth or their status is, with all this money, it's false. It's false money. It's fool's gold. It's not real. This is an enemy, thief, a false person. Their money is false. It's fake money, fake status. It's all illusion. And somebody's in despair over this conversation that is going on, and they're waiting for death. An old woman is waiting for death because there is a reunion with this wife. And this could be a priest. So the Hierophant could actually be a priest, and that fire sign might be his wife. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. Somebody's very haughty, very stuck up, having a real bad attitude about your happiness and you gaining your wings. They're sick, because the Lord sees your consistency, your happiness, your consistent happy state. So, copycats, they fall off script all the time, and then they get busted as being fake. The wonderful thing is that, God is with us all the time. So we have a witness, even when we feel as though we're alone. Like, even when these people shut our communication systems down, fully in the mental body. You know, they're certain that they have cut the communication down, right? They've downloaded the memories into the copycat's mind, and then nebulized, or what is that called? That freaking Men in Black thing, strip you of your own, remember? And then, but the thing is that you've got the silver cord to the soul connected to source. God is always connected to the soul that you are. And so, you know, you may have been watched and like God was one step ahead, you know, watching what these people were doing to you while somebody else was wearing your memories and a mask and pretending to do nasty things as you. But God was connected to the silver cord, and the copycat didn't have the silver cord. All they had were the memories and harvested energy. But the soul connection remains. And I suppose next time, if these ones ever got another opportunity, they would just destroy that connection as well. And that's why they can't be given another opportunity. So you got the past, and you're not going to repeat the past. These habitual patterns that will never change are not going to leave you lonely again. We've got service here. Whatever these people were doing in service, they're not going to be able to leave you alone. The things you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love you deserve. So we're not repeating the past. Those habitual patterns that won't change are going away. They're falling into ruins. You're not alone here. There's somebody here that's in service to make certain that this stuff doesn't happen again. You're in your Six of Swords boat, and you're traveling soon. You never gave up hope for your reunion, and you trust that inner voice. Somebody's in a mental prison because they broke their promises. You're with somebody else. You never gave up hope for that, and now you're mentally or telepathically connected to somebody that is trustworthy. And whoever this third-party enemy is, they broke their promise to you, and now they're in a mental prison, or they're actually in prison, disconnected from the third-party enemy. There's no more. They're disconnected from the third-party enemy's soul contract. They're afraid because they're afraid of a fortune, or maybe they're afraid. They're in fear of this fortune. They're afraid because they were coming after you for this fortune. They're getting divorced out of this soul contract. They were only there for the freaking money, and they lost you. They gambled with you, and they lost you. Third-party enemy only love bombed and gaslit you and got a contract with you because he and his man friend needed the money that came with you. And then they just treated you like shit because they love shit. So we got the Ten of Cups here, divine love. This narcissist, you're not dealing with the narcissist. They're flipped on their head. They're in their south node, and they've been found guilty, and they're feeling the pain from the damages that they've caused. You are free of this narcissist, and there's a celebration here. Somebody's having anxiety. Somebody's having anxiety because they don't know what's going to happen. They could be looking for an exit plan. This is ending. You are tired and exhausted, and you deserve a break from this. There's an exit plan, and this is ending. The Hierophant is there as a fire sign or with a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There are no mistakes regarding this wedding. This reflection is not getting this soul tie. Absolutely not. So we've got worry here. They're worried. Somebody's worried, and they're reaching out, trying to connect, but love is eluding them because they're nasty jacks, man. Nasty jacks. Sneaky Pete. Scary Jerry. They're in a tower. They're in chaos, these third-party enemies whose values were all about money. They were here specifically to F love over. They didn't care about love. They just wanted money. That's what they were taught. And now they're unable to free themselves from this web this sticky situation that they wove for themselves. This page is restless in the mental body. They've been let go, and they're in disagreement regarding the house and relationships, people who serve the higher good. We've got ending in the reverse. They weren't able to bring an end to it, so they tried real hard to destroy love and unions, to destroy relationships that are here to serve the higher good. They tried real hard to take that house and to get that union, but they weren't able to bring an ending to it. Could be that they refused to stop, so they're being let go. Justice is being served, and we expect to hear from them soon. The reflection's not getting this soul contract. We've got pride in the reverse. This envious person, their pride is hurt, and they're praying. They want consolation. They want forgiveness, or whatever they want. But you're leaving. You're leaving. They're praying. They're all upset about you leaving. They could be pleading with you. The law of cause and effect. They'll be back. They're going back. They're going to be sent back in time. The reflection did not win the soul contract because they're envious. Their pride is hurt. They worked very, very hard here, responsibly, or you worked very, very hard here responsibly on your patience. And somebody's unworthy of being with you. They understand that you're a better person than they are. They're going on a journey to receive some discipline, and it's happening now. They might be close to you, or it's happening now. This discipline is happening now. They've been found unworthy of being in your energy and of receiving what it is that God has given you. God's like, no, I didn't give it to you. I gave it to her, or I gave it to him. And you got these others coming in wanting to get their little paws on it. And he's like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, you don't. They're worried because they're trying to connect to love, and love isn't having none of it. And I think God did something within the mental to make certain that this is going to come to an end. We've got judgment here. They gambled with you. They're under judgment for gambling with your life and the energy that is you connected to God. So if that's God's energy as a son and a star of the Most High Divine, that is the Divine's energy on loan to you as a being to come here and learn what you can about what you can. And these ones violated it in a big way. And everything they did to you is going back to them. And there is no indecision about it. They're all up in their thoughts about this because it's fierce. It's fierce. It's aggressive. And they're crushed. They did not see this coming. They did not see this coming. They've been found guilty and they're looking for an escape. They've been found guilty of lying and cheating, trying to use love as an escape while trying to destroy love. Everything they built on your energy collective is crumbling. It's crumbling and they got to face it. They did everything in the dark while harvesting your energy. It's like they thought if they put enough light beings in the dark that they could, I don't know, make it work somehow. They made, look, there was a long, long road of really hard things for the diamonds of this world. It's so interesting to get older and to look back, because it's all just like it's like a script, you know. It's like the mind of traumatized child, it's like when you're traumatized, they can stick their karmic debt and other nasty things onto you. So when you're traumatized as a child, like magically, they can stick these soap operas, these life paths into the psyche of a traumatized child. And then that child has this soap opera continuously broadcast into their mind, and they think they're just mad at the world or whatever. And it's not. They're living a program and driven into this program, and then they get deceitfully convicted of being that, right? But it was never that. It was a program. Unfortunately, for the sleeper, the one who didn't actively do that kind of stuff to others, they were the victims of it, you know. They non-magical beings. We've got furious in the reverse. There's no fury. So you're not repeating the past of these people who have habitual patterns that they'll never stop. You're not bringing it forward with you. You're not alone. They're in service this time. It's like you're not alone. The things you no longer need are falling away to make room for the love that you deserve. And we've got fury in the reverse. It's like there's no fury. It just is what it is. There's no fury. It's a simple return, a reciprocity. There's no fury. Or maybe they're not furious anymore. Maybe they don't have time to be furious. They're in ruins. They're in ruins. They're no longer furious. They're in a mental prison for breaking all the promises they made. Yeah. Prison and confinement. You're leaving them behind, and they're in prison and confinement for breaking the promises that they made. They tried to destroy you and then use your happiness and your energy as a one-way ticket out of here, while, you know, they thought that they could just drain you of all of your energy and dress up in it and trick God to say, hey, it's me, you know, and put all this beautiful, innocent substance into their breads and into their bodies and stuff, and then try to call themselves that. They say you are what you eat. We got entities out there that are transferring sin into the meat, into the animals, as they are slaughtered so brutally. So you've got this trauma, this suffering, this pain, this rage, and then you have that sin, you know. And then they sell it to the people who then pay for that sin-infested meat, and then they ingest it and take it into their body. So the food supply is tainted. And everybody is born and raised thinking that they're a sinner. And the child, when it doesn't want to eat the meat, typically a child has to be trained and forced to eat meat when they're younger because they don't want to. It's a trained thing that this realm has given to them. Death. So they have lost, and there's death. They have lost your fortune. So there's disconnect from, these third parties are being disconnected from soul contracts because they were only there to drain the money out of it and the happiness and the energy. So they're afraid here because they have lost the fortune. They took a gamble with your life force, and they decided that they did not want to love you. They decided that they wanted to hurt you. And now it's going back on them. They did death magic on you. They wanted you left in the shadow realms, depleted of every gift and every ounce of energy, and they wanted you covered in the filthy habits that they have been so deeply embroiled in. You're getting divine love. And this narcissist is not allowed in the territory. They're guilty of causing untold, limitless numbers of pain. And you've got your freedom from that, and you're happy about that. And somebody's having anxiety over the loss of you. They've lost you. They've lost you. They lied about you so bad, trying to destroy your future, destroy your love, destroy your opportunity to be who you're meant to be, who you are. The Hierophant is here as or with a fire sign, and they're not making any mistakes regarding this wedding, eternal love. Somebody's worried. They're trying to reach out to connect to love, but love is avoiding them. We've got eternal love here, and you got these narcissists, these third-party enemies trying to latch on and stick themselves to you while they continue to go out and, you know, be with their preferred mate, while stealing your money and your purpose. So they're in a tower. These third-party enemies are in a tower. Their values were all about money. They were trying to steal your purpose with their knowledge, and they're unable to free themselves from this sticky situation. They could be blind. They're losing their gifts. They're feeling awkward. They're restless because they're getting let go, and they're having disagreements regarding the house and relationships that serve the higher good. They're not able to bring an ending to that. They're not able to bring an ending to that. Or they don't want it to end. I think they're not able to bring an ending to it. They're getting rejected. They're going through withdrawals because they could not bring an ending to the house, and relationships that serve the higher good are in the house, and these ones are being let go. They could not end your future, your life. Now they're going through withdrawals because they're getting rejected. Justice is being served, and it says expect to hear from them soon. They'll be back. And I think it's the Hierophant here in a soul tie with the real deal. The reflection is not getting this soul tie. So we've got justice, the law of cause and effect. They'll be back. Whatever this reflection, this copycat did, it's all going back. Every nasty thing they did is all going back. They envied you, and now their pride is hurt. The envious ones, their pride is hurt. They're needing consolation, but you're leaving. You know, they're praying, you're leaving, and they're like, well, don't go. And it's like, it's too late, man. You know, centuries after being abused, laughed at, ridiculed, poked, they thought it was so funny, man. And they're being stopped. This crap is being stopped. And they're frightened because they did so much in the history. They're frightened about what they have done here. And it's too late. They're praying for forgiveness, and there's death and confinement. They had centuries to decide that they would rather be a loving person, and they did not see any value in that. They chose. So you've been working hard, responsibly, and you are patient. Those unworthy people are getting disciplined. They're going away, and they're going away now. It's not distant. It's now. And they're in a nightmare. They have a nightmare. They're in the middle of a nightmare right now. They're under judgment for gambling your life and many, many, many other lives, for extracting life force in their painful process that they're so proud of. They're getting reciprocity. Every nasty, hurtful, painful thing that they ever did to the child, to the mother, and to the man, and to the animals is going back on them. There is no indecision about this, and they can't stop thinking about it. You're being fierce. They're being met with this aggressiveness, this every aggressive thing. Oh yeah, vow. There's a vow. They could be, they're going to have a war in their mind. Their mind is going to be torn up aggressively. For what they did to the collective's field of awareness, the mental bodies of the people. It was all very purposeful. This was not a chemical imbalance. This was witchcraft, mental magic, and technology. They wanted to bury the majority of the human being in the United States under this magic and have them carry the load of their karmic debt. They wanted to siphon out the wealth from everybody, put that in their pocket so that when they go back a couple hundred years or a couple thousand years, they'll be very, very wealthy, right? But it didn't work out that way. They can't send you back and burn you at the stake this time because God sees. And there is a vow. So there's no indecision. See this person's mental body? He can't get out of his head. He knows exactly what's happening here. His vow. There's aggression in his thought pattern. It's like now it sounds to me, it looks to me, because this is reciprocity, equal give and take. They gambled with your mind. They gambled with your energy. And it's like every nasty thing they did to you is being done to them. I think there's a war going on in their head. Just like you had to go through. Yeah, it's time. It's time. And there's a promise. It's time for your promise. These guys were strategizing against you, trying to mentally disturb you with magic, and all that mental magic is going back on them. They indulged in it. They indulged in bringing mental disturbances to people. They were attaching entities to people in the United States with magic. These demons or these spirits, these entities, they were attaching them to the people, and they were getting a profit. They were getting paid to do that, this magic, to mess up people's minds. This says mind reading. So they were doing magic on the mental bodies of the people, and they were stealing their memories and their thought patterns and all of their intellectual property. Any prayers, anything like that, they were taking it all and then strategically effing up people's worlds with it. Yeah. But you've got this beautiful white halo, this beautiful, powerful solar plexus energy. You have lived and learned a lot, and you persevered by being peaceful. Somebody wants to apologize. They want forgiveness, and they're getting ready for being bullied and creating and receiving conflict. So now they're going to go get bullied, and they're going to get major conflict because they were bringing danger to marriages, to your marriage. And that's justice. Justice is being served here on those people who were tempted to take your money, your life savings, your life, the wealth that belongs to your life. All they cared about was having stuff, right? But there's a miracle here. There's good news. They're being cast away. They're being cast away. They're being released, and they're being evicted here. They're no longer going to receive services. You will never, ever, ever have to serve them again. You did so. Hundreds of them coming up, wanting to access your accounts, your services, and you gave it to them. God said you were too forgiving, and that you will never give anything back to them ever again. You will never serve them again. Isn't that wonderful? Fathers protect, and that's what gives them their value. And God is here saying, what the hell are you? Who are you in that man suit that was made in my image? And what are you doing here with the mothers and the children? They were cursing your sweet dreams. They were daydreaming. They wanted to fill your mind with illusion. They cursed your sweet dreams. And that's what they collaborated with people to try to rob you of your fate. And now they're protesting. They could be fighting with their coach, or their coach is protesting, overloaded and overwhelmed by your alliances. They might even be sick from trying to steal your vitality, your energy. Yeah, disappointed and sick. You've got mercy here because you are a good moral human. You have earned a lot of merit. So God's showing you mercy, and showing you mercy because you maintained your inner peace and your state of calm while these ones were dominating you and driving you and trying to destroy you. You are the blessing, and you triumph over this challenge. You're getting your real estate because you love yourself. You loved yourself even when they were trying to drive in this nasty interference into your imagination. You loved yourself into health, and you're getting that reward. The reward that you prayed for. And it's not just that. It's you've hit the jackpot. It could be that religion owes you. I used to think it was religious witchery, and it's popped up a few times, but you take that as it resonates. I know Spirit said there's at least one multi-billion-dollar church out there that's not an actual church. It's a pedophilia network. I don't know what it is. I don't know what church it would be, because we've got a few of those out there. So you take it as it resonates. You've reached your goals. This is the conclusion. You're coming into the profit of what you have earned here, and you're going to get your sweetheart too, and perhaps a child. You're going to birth something together. Something beautiful. And those who are prideful are now going to get to go suffer those natural disasters that they put upon you. Hour and 22 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and leave this one here. I hope that this brings clarity to something you already intuitively knew. And I'll see you on the next one, everybody.